Hey folks, I'm Tennessee Brando for MeidasTouch. How many of you over the years have said to yourself, man, these MAGA Republicans live in an alternate reality. They live in a completely different universe from the rest of us. And how many of you have said that from time to time and then kind of felt bad because you hate to sound so judgmental of a group of people, and then you see proof that makes you say to yourself, I shouldn't feel bad for saying that at all because these people truly live in a completely alternate universe. I've got a clip here I'm going to show you of some people who were there on January 6th. And if you ever want to see a video of people talking in complete circles, making stuff up as they go, pulling stuff completely out of their ass as they go along, this is the clip for you. They start off by saying that, well, they let the protesters in. They opened the gates and they let them in. And then one guy goes so far as to say that the police officer that died later died because he shouldn't have been a police officer. Then they go on, of course, to play their favorite hit, which was it looked a whole lot like Antifa to them. They were just there to have a peaceful protest. This is about as crazy as it gets, but take a look at it, and then we'll come back and talk some more about it.
Mastriano was at the insurrection, and he was photographed breaching one of the restricted areas. Is that okay?
Which area? Because I saw a video where Capitol officers were taking away barriers and unlocking doors for people. So, I mean,
they opened the gates.
So
and
it shouldn't be disqualifying for an elected official
No,
if they participated in January 6th?
He didn't strike anybody. He didn't hurt anybody.
And the only one that died was a protester there, not a Capitol police officer.
Unarmed female veteran.
That's the only one that died.
That's the only one who died.
A police officer did die.
No, it was a stroke.
That's
not on site.
Caused by that. That's because he shouldn't have been a police officer. It was one woman.
So what do you make, though, overall of January 6th? I mean, watching that footage, it was pretty disturbing. I mean, there were people throwing excrement at the walls, and it was it's the Capitol.
It looked a lot like Antifa's actions.
Yeah, it looked a lot, except on a much smaller scale. It looked the same as the Black Lives Matter riots.
That's what I saw the similarities to be.
Minneapolis burns, Kenosha burns.
But so it's okay just because one side that you disagree with?
I'm saying Antifa infiltrated.
It's good for one, it's good for the other.
Anybody who harmed anybody who caused property destruction, that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah,
but if you're there making your voice heard at the people's house, no less, that's, again, it's a fundamental constitutional right of an American citizen. And people should not be being held political prisoner because of it.
For misdemeanors. That's East Germany.
That's East Germany.
Tactics.
Yeah, that's what's scary.
It was an actual fiery but mostly peaceful protest. And the other ones that were the opposite.
Was the protest legitimate in your eyes?
Administration, I feel like, is using it as their Reichstag fire.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're using it as.
Do you think that President Trump could have quelled the violence that day?
Not him personally.
I don't think so, no.
I don't think so.
It started while he was still speaking. I was actually there. I was there to see what I thought was going to be the last time I ever saw Trump with little guy.
So did he tell everybody to go and start rioting?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, and it actually, I stayed for the whole speech, like a ton of people did. And then we all headed to the Capitol because he said, let's go to the Capitol and peacefully let our voices be heard. And we get to the Capitol and we're like, what the hell's going on? Because it had already happened.
I'm pretty sure I saw Democratic operatives instigating people to cross barriers.
It's pretty disturbing, isn't it? If you'll notice, every time they get cornered about this and someone points out just how bad it looked on TV, they always go back to the protest of 2020 and they say, well, these cities got burned down. Now, I've said this before, but it bears repeating. The protest that happened in 2020 was the voice of the unheard. It was people protesting police brutality and injustice. That's why those people were there. Yes, things got out of hand. Yes, things turned violent, but that was the voice of the unheard. Now, what happened on January 6th is not the voice of the unheard because those people cast their votes in a free and fair election and they didn't like the results. And so they decided they was going to take a vacation day from work, drive to the Capitol, overthrow the government, and come back home. But these people continuously go back and forth on this issue. And this is the one thing that has always boggled my mind when I listen to them. It always starts off with them saying, well, it looked like we were just there to peacefully protest. And it looked to me like it was Antifa. And it looked like it was Democratic operatives. I believe they were the ones letting everybody in. And they'll turn around in the same breath and they'll say, well, but we have the right to do that. We have the right to protest. It's an American thing to do. They have went back and forth on this issue so much, and they live in this alternate reality to the extent that I say that's why we can't have the both sides argument with this kind of person. There's no way that we're ever going to be able to have a sensible argument. This isn't about, I see people all the time say, hey, talk to people you disagree with. Engage in people who have differing opinions. I'm all for that. Hey guys, let's engage on differing opinions on how we can solve the issues at hand. But we can't engage with people like that who for the last 2 years have went back and forth on this issue. 1 minute it was Antifa, the next minute, by God, they meant to do it. That is what is so frustrating about these type of people. And they continue to speak, they continue to be out there, and they're still saying that elections were rigged, and that's going to be their game as long as they're losing. Whenever they win an election, when Lauren Boebert won, she come out and said, oh, I won just like I knew I would. But had she lost, she would be singing the same song those people are singing, saying, oh, it was rigged against us. That's why we can't have the both sides argument with this group of people, because it's not an argument we can win. We have to stay focused on the issues at hand, and we have to try to drown out this noise. And yes, folks, these people are very loud, okay? I understand it's very frustrating arguing with someone that loud. But these people, I really believe, are on their last legs. I really believe that we're seeing MAGA slowly start to crumble. I believe that one day this hopefully will be a passing fad. I live here in East Tennessee, and from time to time I will travel down to Pigeon Forge in Gatlinburg, and I used to go down there and they would have these Trump stores. They still do. They have the Trump store, and they have Trump merchandise in all these different places. But it seems like that people aren't walking the streets carrying those flags as much as they used to be. It seems like people are starting to wind down, and I believe in time we're going to look back at this, and it's going to be like a bad Vanilla Ice cassette. No one's ever going to want to admit that they ever owned it. And so let's just hope that that's what happens, because there's always going to be these people. I've always said this, it's like when a drunk gets thrown out of a bar, they're always the loudest right as they get to the door. So let's just hope these people are almost to the door, they're almost out of our hair, and let's hope that we can get back to having reasonable discussions. That's what I want to see. I'm all about engaging with people with differing opinions. I'm all about having reasonable discussions, but I will not waste my time, and you shouldn't either, having any kind of discussion with people who says that a police officer died. Well, okay, he shouldn't have been a police officer. If someone says something like that, they should immediately be pushed out of the argument. We shouldn't even acknowledge what they have to say anymore, because that's not stifling their free speech. They're free to say it. Hey, they had every right to say it, and I had every right to come on here and shout it down and say why that it's fucked up. So guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button here on MeidasTouch, and share these videos and let everybody know where they're at. I'm very proud to be part of this, and hope you guys continue to tune in. Until next time, I'm Tennessee Brando. You guys keep coming back here at MeidasTouch, and we'll keep telling you the truth.
Our blue wall stopped the red wave, and election deniers got denied election. That's why we're celebrating with the new Democracy Prevails team. We've got lots of work to do, but we should all be proud that when democracy was tested, democracy prevailed. You've earned this. Don't wait. Get yours right now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.